Chairman, and thank you for your time yesterday, Ms. Williams. It was nice to see you yesterday, and congratulations on your nomination. I'm always happy to see someone who served in state government here in Washington because I am of the opinion that the states are the great incubators of innovation, and the best ideas tend to percolate up from the states. So my first question is about federalism. Do you support the states having the lead role in managing wildlife within their respective state borders?
Senator Lummis, and again, yeah, I appreciated getting to visit with you yesterday, and always like talking to someone who comes at issues from the same place, coming from the West. So as the previous director of Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and working from a state perspective, yes, I think that states play a critical role. And as I said in my opening statement, wildlife conservation is a shared responsibility. And this American model of ours, it's part of making sure we understand the different roles we play. The Fish and Wildlife Service steps in when species are in the emergency room and are listed as threatened or endangered. But the primary management of species that are not listed as threatened or endangered, or not migratory birds, or not covered by federal law in another way, remain with the states, because states are on location. They understand the place, they understand the context, and have
So you would agree that states play the lead role unless the ESA kicks in? Or the Migratory Bird Act?
Senator Lummis, I would say that states play a lead role, but I would be careful to parse out the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, the Lacey Act.
Okay, if those federal laws don't apply,
yes, the states
then the states play the lead role. Okay, thank you. Now, in Wyoming, as you know, we talked about yesterday our concern about grizzlies. They're way over objective. Do you support delisting the greater Yellowstone ecosystem population of the grizzly bear?
Senator Lummis, I appreciated visiting with you on grizzly bears, and I support recovery, the long-term recovery of grizzly bears, and very much appreciate the efforts and the leadership that Wyoming, for example, has put into that.
Okay, so long-term recovery. Well, it's been a long-term recovery, and they are recovered. Every single objective criteria has been met. And then when the bar's been raised before, that objective has been met. And it's been raised again, and that objective has been met. So do you intend to demand additional requirements or raising the bar again in future delisting?
Senator Lummis, if confirmed, I will make sure the Fish and Wildlife Service adheres to the law, the Endangered Species Act, and the underlying science.
So does the recent petition filed by an environmental group challenging gray wolf delisting have any bearing on grizzly bear delisting in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem?
Senator Lummis, and I realize thinking about the grizzly bear answer, what I didn't provide is the context of having chaired the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee and having worked with the governor of Montana to put together a Grizzly Bear Advisory Council. So I, am steeped in predator conservation and understand the challenges of recovery and management of those species. So I think that there are some similarities for wolves and grizzly bears because of their predators. But otherwise, the Fish and Wildlife Service, if confirmed as director, the Fish and Wildlife Service will certainly look at the science specific to the species.
Well, but I think what I'm hearing you say is that you're not willing. You're not willing.
Senator, I'm not willing
to consider delisting the grizzly bear in the greater Yellowstone area?
Senator Lummis, I apologize if I said that I'm not willing to consider delisting of the greater Yellowstone population.
Do you believe all the science has been met? Do you know that all the science has been met?
Senator Lummis, as you know, the Fish and Wildlife Service put out a species status assessment on this very question. And while population numbers are robust in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, there are also elements when listing and delisting species. There are 5 criteria that the Fish and Wildlife Service must meet. The species status assessment noted, as has a court has noted, that there are still elements that we need to work through. As I have talked to the director, as you know, Director Nesvik in Wyoming and Montana and Idaho on meeting the criteria of adequate regulatory mechanisms, on recalibration, and on genetic connectivity. That's what the court has repeatedly required.
And